Hello, beautiful people. I'm Monica, and welcome to Energy Medicine with Monica. This is a space for healing, for freeing yourself from limiting patterns and beliefs. And each week we come together to explore what is ready to be shifted using consciousness-based medicine, helping you to heal, align, and synthesize what is ready to be released. You are your own healer. I am simply the guide. And in today's work, we are going to be working with the ethereal body, the subtle senses, and the energy systems, the chakra system specifically, in relation to the current that rules your life, that guides your ship, so to speak. So when you think of a boat and you see it floating on top water, that's five, you can consider that 5% of consciousness from which you live your life. That's consciousness. You're awake, you see the ocean, you see things around you, you're moving within your life, and you think that you are guiding your ship. But the unseen, that what lies beneath the ocean, those currents and tides, is what moves the boat. And just like your life, those undercurrents, those unseen forces rule your life. Now, you don't have to believe in energy. This is not anything that you have to believe. It's kind of like magic, like the internet. I don't believe in the internet, but I understand that it exists. I have no idea how faxes work, little ones and zeros, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, magic. And next thing you know, on the other line, you receive a fax machine or a scan. Or the one that I really like to listen to is Plant Wave, or listening to the plants. And I just watched a video, so I'm going a little bit off here, by David Attenborough, and he plugged up receptors to a flower, and as the bee came closer, the plant started emitting a different sound, a different frequency. So we're no different than nature. If you don't think you are nature, then that's a good place to start. You are of nature. You are part of nature. We are all one, and we have frequencies and vibrations to us. So if you could think about your subtle senses, ooh, I feel really sick to the stomach. We've got to clear the subtle senses of the static from the mind. So our senses are our antenna, our nervous system, and even our hair are an extension to feeling the vibe, or the room around us, or the space that we enter, our or interactions with people. The subtle senses are those things, is the sense that picks up that unseen. So 5% of consciousness is the boat on the ocean, and the tide is what guides the boat. And so the subtle senses pick up the frequencies, the vibe in the room, what someone is saying, what someone's not saying. If someone gives you a piece of information and it just doesn't feel right, that's the subtle sense of touch. It doesn't taste good, leaves a bad taste in your mouth. You're hearing what the person's not saying. They say everything's fine, it's perfect, but you can really hear what's beyond their words that they're saying. Or when you're looking at something and it's skewed. You're like, what in the world is actually happening? There's a big burp. So we're going to do a cleansing to the five senses, to gaslighting. So whether it's gaslighting yourself, I'm sure I've done this thousands of times. I do this less now because I worked really diligently to clear my gut, to make sure that my intuition, that gut is nice and clear, so my intuition comes up strong, and that I'm paying attention to her and listening to her, not gaslighting myself. So sometimes that still happens. So you'll walk into a situation, let's say, and it's just feels so strange. All your senses, you're having a physiological reaction. You can tell something's beyond the surface, and then you gaslight yourself. That's fine. There's no logical explanation for why I should be feeling this way. No, no, that they didn't mean what they said. No, no, no. They didn't say that they were going to cause me harm. They just said, trust me. It's going to be fine. I should trust them. Everything's going to be fine. That's what they said. And your whole body is screaming for your attention, and then you gaslight yourself. Or someone gaslights someone gaslights you. No, 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 that doesn't hurt. No, 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 it's not that. It's all in your head. No, no, no. So we're dumping gaslighting and those experiences of gaslighting yourself and being gaslit off of those subtle senses. I'm going to anchor this to the heart for individuation. Oof, we got to dump this gaslighting manipulation of yourself, and perhaps even you do it to others, unbeknownst to you. Maybe there's a small part of you that knows that you're acting manipulatively, but you do it anyway because it's uncomfortable to actually be honest and say what you really mean. So we're going to anchor this to the heart to do a beautiful cleansing of the five senses. And we're going to bring in small intestines and diaphragm to help with the discernment, to help with the cleansing, the synthesizing, and the release to neutralize the undercurrent, so to speak, that's bombarding your five senses, the subtle ones. All right. Which brings me to the gut. I thought we were going to go to the nervous system, but we're actually going to the gut. We need to get this gut nice and clear. Uh, it's a little bit late in the season for a detox. Um, Ayurvedic medicine says, and the seasons say that fall is the best time, and then also spring is the best time for a detox. It's not really recommended during the winter season to do a detox, as in winter we're going into maximum contraction, which is metal. Maximum contraction. Everything freezes, slows down, especially here in the north. So if you're listening to this in the south and you're in the southern hemisphere and you're going into summer, it's the same. Do not, it's maximal expansion. It's not the time to do a detoxification going into the summer. Everything slows down. So, like, how does it slow down in the summer? It's maximum fire. But if it's so hot, well, I'm feeling really dizzy now, so I'm anchoring down into the ground. You think about the summer, you don't want to move. Everyone goes on vacation. Everyone's like mañana, tomorrow. If you think about all um, those warm cultures like Mexico and in the Dominican and all those warm countries, really easygoing. They close down for lunch. They don't open again until they feel like it. And so really slowing down. So it's the same thing here in the north. For winter, it's a maximum contraction. Everything slows down and it's a time to go inward, not a greatest time to do a detoxing. But we do need to make sure that that gut is nice and clear, that that intuition is working well, and without the interpretations of the mind coming in and usurping your intuitional clarity. Because you can get imagination coming in here and a drama queen coming in here, making up stories. You can go on tangents and say, that's my intuition. No, no, no. Intuition, she's sharp. She's quite blunt. She'll just say, no, don't go there. Don't eat this. Yes. And then if it's unsure, it'll come up as foggy, as maybe. And usually when it's not clear, that's my signal to me that I need to press pause before responding or reacting. If it's coming up unclear, I need to sit with this information and perhaps it needs to filter through the head brain, the heart brain, until the information goes through the digestive system and reaches my gut, that discernment, and then maybe I'll get a clearer answer. And if I still don't get a clear answer, that's my signaling. I need to get a session, call my practitioner, do some self inquiry, which is not analytical thinking, but deductive. So pulling away, not adding more, because why gives you more and more and more. Deductive reasoning. What is this trying to tell me? What is the root of this pain? And follow those breadcrumbs. It's inquisitive into you. What do you mean by what you are saying? Whew, here we go. So we're running a few links here to cleanse the gut, to cleanse that small intestines, and it's really backed up. So if you're suffering from constipation or diarrhea or digestive problems, this is all signaling that the gut needs a cleanup. Now, what in the world could be blocking up this gut? Maybe it's an old piece of meat from 3 weeks ago. Maybe it's undigested food. Maybe it's an experience that you're avoiding that you don't want to look at because you think all of these bad things about yourself. You think such nasty things about yourself that if you think that you look at it, it must be true. No, no, no. You've already said all of the horrible things that you mean about yourself. You say those to yourself every day. Perhaps you'll find something new. Oh, there's a big release there. So we've got avoidance coming in here. We've got some apathy, resignation. You got some undigested food, undigested experiences. So I'm just going to run a circulation plug-in to the digestive system and down through that large intestines, which works. I'm sweating here. Whew. So something for me is moving. I don't know what's happening for you. You can tune into your body and see what's shifting for you. I'm going to dump this out. And it could be that you're addicted to what's bad for you. It's very possible those cravings are things within your microbiome. Let's say sugar. Sugar's a really big one. Food cravings, all of those things are keeping the dysfunction alive. And actually, a craving, what it is let's say it's sugar craving, all of those little bugs, the candida, and all those little things that crave the sugar are falling away and dying, and they have a craving because they need to be fed. And then the craving is fulfilled. And then they go, yum, 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 I'm happy again. But it's not good for the body. So we're going to go ahead and dump that. We've got through a body chemistry and a circulation, blood, lymph, nerve, chi, to from and within that whole digestive tract, from just around the duodenum right down to the large intestines. You need to clean that up, make sure the chi is moving in there, that it's nice and clear. And then having a good filtration system to understand or to know or to be able to decipher what's intuition and what is following thought. Following thought is not thinking, it's simply following thought. It's like a dog who's chasing a squirrel and then goes leaf and then goes ball and then goes squirrel and then goes ooh treats. It's following your thoughts. And following your thoughts is not being in the vertical. It's not present. It jumps around the horizontal mind, back to present, to projecting onto future, to back again, back to the future. That's funny, back to the future. Anyway, it's not here in the now. So what we want to do is be in the vertical mind. The vertical is here and now and thinks clearly. We want to have a healthy gut brain so that we can actually discern and discern pieces of information that are given to us, discern our own thoughts, and not gaslight ourselves and other people. There we go. All right, friends, that's a really great place to land for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for calling in this sacred medicine. If you got any value from this, are curious about it, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'd love to hear your feedback. Reach out. And if there's anything here that triggered you and you're like, whoa, Monica, I don't know what you mean, let's book a session. And I'd be so happy to work through this with you. Happy weekend.